Hi, I'm Mr. Kangas, and today we're going to be taking a look at Chapter 5, Section 4, Dividing Algebraic Fractions. So in the previous video we learned that to divide regular fractions, you flip the number on the right and then multiply your two fractions together. With algebraic fractions, it's the same exact process. So okay. So essentially, you flip the fraction on the right, change division to multiplication, and now if you were comfortable with Chapter 5, Section 3, then you should be able to solve this problem with relative ease. You have two options. You can go ahead and multiply straight across. So 2 times 10 is 20. X squared, there's no other x term, so it stays the same. Y times y is y squared. And z, because there's nothing to multiply z by. On the bottom, we do 4 times 5, which is 20. And x times x squared, which is x cubed. Once you get to this point, you would have to do some reducing. So we do 20 divided by 20. We get 1 over 1. X squared divided by x to the third power, or x cubed. So remember, when you're reducing with variables that have exponents, you always want to do top minus bottom. So it'd be x to the 2 minus 3, which gets you x to the negative 1. And if you use top minus bottom to do the reducing, the answer always goes at the top of the fraction. And so then we're left with y squared z. And that would be your final fully reduced answer. The other option you have, instead of multiplying straight across first like I just did, okay, you can do some cross-canceling, you can do some regular reducing. So for example, if I look at this 10 and the 5, I know that 5 goes into both of these numbers, so I can actually reduce the 10 over 5 right now. The 5 would reduce to a 1, the 10 would reduce to a 2. The same thing with the 2 and the 4, I could reduce those both by 2. So the 2 reduces to a 1 and the 4 reduces to a 2 because 2 goes in the 4 twice, 2 goes in the 2 once. And the important thing to remember here is that the numbers are kind of like their own separate function, and then each letter is its own separate thing. So the x's, you treat the x's alone, you treat the numbers by themselves. You notice how I'm not doing variables and numbers at the same time. I'm not doing x's and y's at the same time. I work with just one set of letters or one set of numbers to start. So same thing here. I have x's that can be reduced. Top minus bottom. This x disappears because this is technically, since you don't see an exponent, it turns to a 1. And so I have x to the 2 minus 1, which is just 1. So this one becomes x to the first. And I can, from there, I could cross cancel if I want, and then I can, when I'm done all that, I can multiply straight across, and I should have an answer that's almost fully reduced or fully reduced. For most people, however, this is more complicated and can cause you more trouble than it's worth, just because, as you can see, this is already looking very messy as I cross cancel and reduce with the algebraic fractions. With normal fractions, it doesn't get quite so messy and cluttered, but there's so much more stuff to reduce and cross cancel with an algebraic fraction, you may end up confusing yourself along the way. So my suggestion for the easiest way to solve these problems is to flip and multiply And as I did the first time, start by multiplying straight across. So 2 times 10 is 20. X squared times nothing is x squared. Y times y is y squared. And then we also have a z. 4 times 5 is 20. X times x squared is x to the third. And at this point, you can reduce your fraction much easier. You only have to reduce the x's once, reduce the numbers once. You only have to reduce the y's and the z's once. Whereas over here, I'm reducing the numbers twice. The x's I could reduce twice. It just gets more complicated if I try to reduce first with an algebraic fraction. So my suggestion to you is with algebraic fractions, you flip and multiply, go right into the multiplication, get your answer, and then reduce your answer. So that is really the gist of dividing algebraic fractions. So just tune in for the next video on Chapter 5, Section 5.